we'll go ahead and start, and I'll call this November meeting of the Retirement and Pension Board to order. I will begin by reading the determination of electronic meetings. A determination is needed by the board regarding electronic meetings pursuant to the Governor's Executive Order number 16, executed on March the 20th of 2020, extended by the Governor's Executive Orders numbers 34, 51, 60, and 65, effective through 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time on December the 27th, 2020, and pursuant to recommendations from the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury issued on March the 20th of 2020, and other applicable laws in effect. The governor's orders allow government agencies to amend or rescind portions of the Tennessee Open Meetings Act regarding electronic meetings in lieu of in-person attendance and participation. The Comptroller's Office recommends that boards make a determination regarding the necessity of electronic meetings for continued function of government agencies and to protect public health, safety, and welfare during the outbreak of COVID-19. Such determination is to be placed on the record in the board's minutes. May I have a motion for this determination and to record this determination in the board's minutes?
So moved, Commissioner Jay.
Second, Commissioner Smith.
Jennifer, you can call the roll.
Mr. Codwell,
Aye.
Commissioner Bustler,
Aye.
Commissioner Jay,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Ms. Himmelgarn,
Aye.
Mr. Mullinax, I think is absent. Ms. Samar.
Aye.
That's a majority vote. That motion carries.
Item number 3, amendments to the agenda. I know that you were sent an amended agenda that included an approval for disability. Jennifer, was that the only amendment?
Yes, that's on the agenda, and then we did add some lump sum to the spread of record.
Gotcha. Okay. Any questions for Jennifer? Seeing none, we'll move on. Item number 4, approval of minutes of October the 26th, 2020. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve, Commissioner Smith.
Second, Jennifer Himmelgarn.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Jennifer, call the roll, please.
Mr. Codwell,
Aye.
Commissioner Bustler,
Aye.
Commissioner Jay,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Ms. Himmelgarn,
Aye.
Ms. Samar.
Aye.
And that's a majority vote, and that motion carries.
Item number 5, applications for disability benefit, the employee disability plan. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve, Commissioner Jay.
Is there a second?
Second, Jennifer Himmelgarn.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Jennifer, call the roll, please.
Mr. Codwell,
Aye.
Commissioner Bustler,
Aye.
Commissioner Jay,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Ms. Himmelgarn,
Aye.
Ms. Samar.
Aye.
And that's a majority vote, and that motion passes.
Moving on to item number 6 on the agenda, applications for retirement, the defined contribution plan. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Jennifer, call the roll.
Mr. Codwell,
Aye.
Commissioner Bustler,
Aye.
Commissioner Jay,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Ms. Himmelgarn,
Aye.
Ms. Samar.
Aye.
That's a majority vote, and that motion passes.
Item number 7, report of the executive director. Jennifer, it's yours.
So I just have a couple items. We processed this month 43 COVID distributions, and that's a year-to-date total now of 394. I have attached our board meeting schedule for 2021. This follows the commission's agenda for their meetings as well for 2021. If there's no objection to the schedule, then I'll go ahead and distribute that for 2020, or I'm sorry, 2021. Is there any questions about that meeting schedule? And then the next item is I have for approval our election procedures and wanted to see if everybody had a chance to review those. We made some tweaks to the election procedures in the past. We've had candidates that want to run for office. They have to submit 25 signatures. We've done some research on that. Stephanie Coleman with Owens, Wilson, and Coleman really looked at that. And there's not a need to do the 25 signatures. So with the circumstance regarding COVID, people working from home, we wanted to reduce that amount to 15. And that would be our biggest change. And that would be when somebody picks up a petition, they would get 15 signatures of Knox County employees to submit their petition to run for a board seat. Is there any questions on the election procedures?
Was there a big issue getting 10 more people?
There's not. We did some research, and the city pension office only has 5. And so in the past of what has happened is you would get 25 signatures on the same sheet of paper. And so, you know, passing that paper around with the COVID, circumstances, we just thought it was a good time to revamp. There wasn't really a rhyme or reason for the 25, and we think that 15 is plenty.
Okay, thank you.
And just to, so that we have this official election procedure, Chris, could we do an approval with a motion to put that into our policies and procedures for the board?
Sure. Is there a motion to approve this?
So
Move
moved.
to approve. I'll second.
There is a motion and a second. Any discussion? Jennifer, call the roll.
Mr. Caldwell,
Aye.
Commissioner Bustler,
Aye.
Commissioner Jay,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Ms. Himmelgarn,
Aye.
Ms. Samar.
Aye.
That motion carries. And Chris and I also had to revamp the election committee. Our election is going to be the second February, or the second Tuesday in February. And on the election committee, we have asked Mr. Molinax, Ms. Samar, Ms. Kristen Parrott from the schools, Mr. Marcus Kennedy, and myself will serve on that committee. And we'll have IT support from John Guyman and Brandy Lane from the schools as well. So that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Jennifer. Moving on to item number 8, report of investment committee. I will turn that over to Commissioner Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Bob, I'll ask your input here in a second on this to make sure I say everything correctly. But if you'll go to page 23 of your packet, you can see the spreadsheet for the defined contribution plans. And as you look at it, you can see that the month of October was not a great month, but I do believe that the start of November has been exceptionally well, and that should all be back in place. Further down, you will get to defined benefit rate of returns on page 37, and it pretty much follows the same with the returns for October being down, but it too will have a good bounce from November. In our meeting we met last week, and we talked about the move from growth to value in our allocations. At this point, Bob, I will turn it over to you if you have anything to say.
Yes, and thank you, Randy. Just to give an update, the closed defined benefit plan as of Friday It increased from a balance of a little over 39 million to 40.9 million. That's within 15 days. The teachers plan increased from 48.7 million to 52.1 million. And UOP increased from 187 million to almost 200 million. So you're right, dramatic gains in the pension plans, similarly for the defined contribution plans. So far it's been a great month.
And when we're praying that we make it to December.
We are.
Chris, we did have, I'm looking for the word here. Investment policy statements for our defined benefit plans and our defined contribution plans. I'm going to ask the attorneys and Jennifer, does Chris need to do this the way we did an investment where we can pass all of the defined contributions together, but we have to vote on the defined benefit policies separately?
Stephanie, what's your opinion? Can we do all the DBs together since those were discussed in the investment committee and do those as one motion?
Since those were discussed in investment committee and the investment committee went ahead and decided to recommend all of them, I'm fine with doing them in chunks. So the DB together and the DC together, unless somebody's got issues with one of them or wants to get into depth on one of the discussions.
Hearing that, I will, if it's okay with Commissioner Smith, I will take the investment policy statement changes for the DB side first, and I will use the recommendation from the investment committee as the motion. Is there a second?
Second, Janet Seymour.
There's a motion and a second. Are there any discussions about these changes? Seeing none, Jennifer, call the roll.
Mr. Caldwell,
Aye.
Commissioner Bustler,
Aye.
Commissioner Jay,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Ms. Himmelgarn,
Aye.
Ms. Samar.
Aye.
That's a majority vote and that motion carries.
Likewise, I will go ahead and go to the investment policy statement changes for the defined contribution plans. I will use the recommendation from the investment committee as the motion. Is there a second?
Second, Jennifer Himmelgarn.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Jennifer, call the roll.
Mr. Caldwell,
Aye.
Commissioner Bustler,
Aye.
Commissioner Jay,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Ms. Himmelgarn,
Aye.
Ms. Samar.
Aye.
That's a majority vote and that motion carries.
Commissioner Smith, do you have anything else?
No, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 9, report of legal counsel. Stephanie, you're first.
Thanks. We have nothing further to report.
Thank you so much. We will now go to Kimberly Montgomery, who is here from them.
Bill Mason, Mr. Chair. We have nothing to report. We're going to keep this meeting short.
Thank you, Bill. I appreciate that. Item number 10, report of actuary Bob Cross. Bob, you have anything else?
I can't add anything now, so
You could, but
I'm good.
everything's good. Item
Yep.
number 11, approval for payment for the statement of account. Is there a motion?
So moved, Commissioner Smith.
Second, Commissioner Jay.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, Jennifer, call the roll.
Mr. Caldwell,
Aye.
Commissioner Bustler,
Aye.
Commissioner Jay,
Aye.
Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Ward,
Aye.
Ms. Himmelgarn,
Aye.
Ms. Samar.
Aye.
That's a majority vote and that motion carries.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you. We stand adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.